Oh my goodness, I think we are live. I see some familiar faces pouring in. It's Wednesday night, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. What is going on? You are watching and, of course, listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition, where we're here every Wednesday night on the Crowdcast platform in front of a live virtual audience. So you may be hearing from some of their comments throughout the next hour. I am your host, Steve V. This is episode 743 alongside Kodi Maurice Doggette. How the hell you doing, Kodi?
Hello, darling. I heard allergies are going around, but hopefully I don't get them this year. We'll see what happens. But we're doing good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we just had some beautiful days. Our
Yeah.
rooftop on this building is open. It looks great. And so, but along with that comes some allergies sometimes. But yeah, there's an ointment for that, or a pill or something to take. So yeah, I think you'll be
Is there an
okay.
anal option?
There could be. There always is an anal option. Yes, on
Hey.
every category. Well, let's get into tonight's sex talk, relationship talk. It's called sex talk, but we often go a little bit deeper. And if part one, a couple of episodes we were talking about is sex easy for gay men, and it was based on an article that had come out that actually wasn't based on an article. It was based on a an influencer that posed the question that it was really just kind of easy. Remember that? And that
I
rubbed a
do.
lot of people kind of the wrong way for many reasons because it's not necessarily easy for everybody if you don't live in a major metropolitan city or perhaps if you don't look a certain way. And we dissected all that and the
Yeah.
history of sexuality. And then last week, we posed the question, part two: what has sexual abundance done to us as a gay community? And we kind of went through all of that, the good, the bad, how sex, it can be a good thing, but then at what point are we maybe not connecting? And part three tonight is really kind of building on that last final arc of it all. How do we build real love and connection in a culture of infinite options, is what we're asking. Love in the age of infinite options is tonight's episode. If sex may
Ooh.
be easy, like we talked about, and options may be endless, but real connection requires choosing someone despite infinite alternatives. Maybe the real challenge of modern gay dating isn't just finding someone who wants us, it's choosing someone when there are always more options. And that was kind of my story originally with Diego too, was there were a lot of options, and I think I was dating a few different people and he was too. I'll never forget the time when I we were just in the early phases of it, and I think it was in the holidays or even New Year's Eve, and he told
hmm
me the second I came up to him, he's at the Eagle, "I'm here with somebody," but it was casual, but I was like, "Oh, okay." I just kinda proceeded upstairs, but that was one of those early phases, but I loved the
Uh-huh.
honesty,
Yeah.
and
I'm glad he gave you the heads up, girl, so you
he
could
gave me the
scoot on
heads
out.
up, and yeah, exactly. I still had that kiss at midnight with somebody else, but
Oh,
I snuck it in there.
oh.
But ultimately, through a lot of persistence, which is, I think, what took our course, and really finding out for me that he is the one in many ways
Mhm.
because we share a lot of similar interests. And I'll never forget, we spent, I think it was like 17 hours together. It was just this really long date. We went hiking, went to wineries, went to Asbury Park, and it was really when it clicked for me, as well as a lot of chemistry as well. But it took like a lot of, it's not like it happened overnight. And I
Yeah.
think that's what is kind of key in this situation is how to, how do you create a relationship when there's so many options? I think if you find somebody, you have to then be willing to kind of do the work, but you have to then assume that they're going to be ready on their end as well, right, Cody?
That's the hard part, finding somebody
Yeah.
who's ready to do the work with you. I think maybe that's part of it. when you find somebody that you want to do the work with and that wants to do the work with you,
Yeah.
that might be the person that you need to be with. Because like we've said on this podcast many, many, many times, relationships are hard. So there's going to be work, and you have to constantly choose that person that you're in the relationship with and see the value of the partnership, because it is a partnership, and what you guys are building, you have to recognize that that is worth it, all of this hard work. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot,
it's
and
a
we
lot,
got
and
that
sometimes
means
you
we got a
can
lot
go
to dissect.
yeah, and sometimes you can go down a road thinking that you found the one, and then you hit a roadblock of some sort, which is fine, but then you have to realize, do I abort, or is this something that I could move past? And so with that, moving into this kind of illusion that we have of endless option, is it an illusion? Because again, depending on where you live, there could be a lot of options for easy hookups. Do we think that apps have made us feel like there is always someone better around the corner, Cody?
So, okay, I kind of want to talk about something that you mentioned
Yeah,
a little. I kind of want to address it because you said like when you hit a bump in the road, you have to reassess.
yeah,
Uh, for me, if you have chosen this person previously, I don't see the value in kind of discarding this person just because you hit a snag in the road, especially if that person is willing to course correct or maybe work on themselves as far as what bothered you or the situation that came up, and your boundaries. All of those things are layered in, and if this person is willing to work and you chose them previously, I don't understand the value in discarding somebody like that. But that's not that's me. That's neither here nor there, but I just had to get that off my chest because I was actually thinking about that earlier after the gym.
yeah.
So that's wild that you bring it up.
Yeah.
um
Yeah, because you're gonna
because
learn things about this other person that maybe don't necessarily align with you, but that's okay. But are you
yeah,
just going to, like you said,
throw
write
them
them
in the
off? And I think
trash. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's one of the issues that a lot of people have is they've already made up their mind about somebody before really fleshing it out and really taking the time to get to know somebody. And, that can be really worthwhile. But that's why I think it can then be, "Oh, forget it. Let me just get back on the apps," whether it's like a Tinder or Grinder, and, find somebody better that you think. But I do think you have to kind of put in the time and really get to know people if you're really looking to connect with somebody. And by connection, it could be sexual connection for a
Hmm.
period of time. It could be dating. We talked on the last episode with Lincoln that you could just be dating but not want to be in a long-term relationship. There's different
Yeah.
modes of that, but yeah,
Did Lincoln agree to that? I don't know if he
I don't know if
did.
he did. Yeah, maybe he didn't. We're putting words in his
I think
mouth that he shouldn't.
I think I said it, and me and you kind of agree, but sorry. Oh wow, you might have to cut that out.
We're live. Whoops.
We're alive.
I mean, Cody, have you ever met
Oh
someone
man.
that was like great, but you kept looking anyway?
No, I've had it done to me before. I've
Mhm.
had people that, I'm great.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've had people who maybe didn't see the value in me. Well, you know what? Maybe I've done it before too. I feel like maybe I'm getting my feelings a little bit, and maybe I have met someone that is great, but there were certain things about them that maybe I didn't like, or
Yeah.
that were could have been perceived as a deal breaker for me. And then I was like, there must be somebody out there that might be better for me. So I probably have done. I feel like everybody has done that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
I
to me, yeah, before I met my husband, so thank God it didn't work out with some of these other people, but 2 examples of people that were kind of back to back that I was spending time with. Now, the clincher on those were that they were long distance dating.
Mhm.
So it made it a little bit more difficult, but I was all in and I was willing to go to these various spots to see this person. And we did carry on like that, you know, for a good several months. And in both occasions, they both told me that they had met somebody and was getting more
Yeah.
serious with somebody that, of course, lived within proximity to them. And of course,
Mm.
I felt I accepted it and wished them well, but I was also really kind of hurt and thought, "Shoot,
Yeah,
I
doesn't
was
feel
building
good.
something with these." And wouldn't you know it, down the road, after I had already decided Diego was the one, and they both came back separately at different points in time, and
Can you imagine if they came
whatever
back together?
I know. They came back at separate points in time, and those relationships that they tried to go, whoever they chose
Mhm.
didn't work out, and they tried to come back to me like, "Oh," not as I think they realized, "Oh, Steve was a good thing," or
Yeah,
something, and now I'm no longer with this other person, but the thing is it was too late. I don't know
yeah,
that I would really go back with them anyway if even if I hadn't met Diego, because it's
mhm.
kinda like, and maybe I should have kept that, well, maybe it was a proximity type situation, but I picked well,
Yeah.
and yeah, so
It doesn't feel
ultimately
good to be discarded or kind of pick second. It doesn't feel good to be second,
right.
especially in a relationship where you are you're supposed to be put first. In a romantic relationship, I feel
Yeah,
like your partner should be picked first. Like uh, neck and neck with my mother because my
yeah.
Mama Freya, and she's always going to be in one of the top spots. Okay, so but yeah,
Right.
definitely neck and neck. You can't. In a romantic relationship, you can't put your partner second. You always have to. It's such an intimate relationship that I feel like you have to value that and nourish that. Not always above all other things, but
Yeah.
definitely very high up on the priorities list. And so it's been done to me. I've write about it in my new EP entitled "Thing of Beauty."
Yes,
Go check that
exactly.
out. Give her
Out
a
now.
listen.
Good plug there, I love it.
But it's definitely happened to me. I think that when a person kind of devalues you or doesn't recognize how important you are to their life, it really takes a toll on you and your spirit. So I really
Yeah.
feel like that's something that we have to address and look at when we are uh, out there having romantic relationships.
We are live, and we love it when you comment on what we're talking about. Doug, watching us live, says, "My mom's cousin Paul and his husband will be together 43 years this summer. Congratulations to your mom."
Yep,
They
that's
certainly
amazing.
have had their share of problems, like any relationship, of course, but a big
Hmm.
key to their long relationship is communication. Oh, yeah.
I love
I
that.
just finished year 2 or year 1 of marriage, being married to Diego, and we were like, "Woo, we made it." And now season 2 is already off to a great start. I call it season 2 of the marriage, and season 2 is much relaxed, and we're kind of finding our way, but a lot of
Oh,
it, based on what Doug's saying, is communication, and
love that.
it's we just have had so many discussions and, finding our footing and living together and all those things, so I agree, that's great, to
Yeah,
your
when
mom's
you it's two
cousin, Paul.
people.
Yeah,
Yes, congratulations to cousin Paul. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But
yeah,
when you're two different people coming into this relationship, you have to navigate both of your boundaries and both of your comfortabilities. And that
yeah,
right there, that can only happen with communication. Nobody in the situation is a mind reader. So you have to verbalize what you expect, what you can't tolerate, what you would like, or because there is a hierarchy. Like you will not accept certain things, and then certain things you can kind of be like, oh, I would like it if you do this just a little bit more, but it's not necessarily an end all be all.
right.
So yeah, all of that
Oh, yeah,
communication
the
is
art of
layered in there.
compromise and letting things go. I think we've talked a lot about that too. Adrian
Love
watching us live also, and I love a good quote from an artist. Adrian quotes Patti LaBelle said it best: "In a different world, you are a first round draft pick, not second choice."
Amen, Patty,
Referring to the
Patty.
story, yeah, come on, quoting Miss Patti LaBelle. I love that. Yeah, true words. You need to be the star in your own life. You are
Hmm.
the primary character in your own life. I love that as
In your
well.
relationship, two people.
Yes, absolutely. Well, what does then builds what takes it over to the arc of actually building real intimacy? What makes someone stay emotionally? What actually creates lasting connections? I mean, some of the things are emotional safety, just feeling that you can be open with somebody, sharing things. I think we were talking about it on the last episode, that, sharing past traumas that many of us have and being open and willing to go there, I think are really key to your development. And us gay men, we all have past traumas, big and small, but that, yeah, I think you really need to share those at times. But do you feel safe emotionally even going there? What creates lasting connections? I mean, consistency, showing up, right, Kodi? Not ghosting, but
Oh, yeah.
actually showing up and putting yourself out there. And it's not easy, like we talked about. Vulnerability, we mentioned that. Compatibility with sex, but beyond sex, I think is a
Mhm.
really good one. Obviously, sex, we're a sex podcast, and sex is really important in finding that. But even in my own relationship, and I was always a bottom. I've said this before, and now I'm so
Mhm.
much versatile. We're versatile in our bedroom, and it's opened so many more doors. So even when I thought I was just going to be a certain position, that changed with my husband. And so being willing to, go down that route. And now it's great because we can flip and who's prepared tonight and who's not prepared and all those good things. I'm
Okay.
thinking, yeah. But compatibility, of course, you want to find somebody that I think Lincoln was saying that on the last episode, you want a best
Yes.
friend and that you can make dreams and dreams together and make them come to life. I mean, what do you think about what makes a lasting, intimate partner, Kodi, that lasts?
There's so much that goes into it. So, like, the whole best friends thing, that
Yeah,
is, part and parcel of it. I really feel like it's so integral to a lasting relationship, because you I think best friends come from being vulnerable, being able to, like you said, being able to call on them and have their support no matter what. Like, I just called
yeah,
you about something and I said, "Oh, can you do this for me?" And you were like, "Let's do it." And I was
yeah,
like,
right.
"Okay."
At the drop of a hat, yeah.
Exactly.
And like Diego
So
call
I
each other like 9 times out of the workday. And
can you do
oftentimes
this?
they're silly
Yeah.
conversations. I wouldn't want too many
Aw,
people to
so
listen,
cute.
but I mean, they're just like checking in on each other and being goofy. And that's the other thing, being able to, for me, I have a silly, goofy side and willing to
Yeah,
let all those walls down and show that to my partner that I wouldn't show with everybody. I mean,
yeah.
is key. And like you said, best friend, dropping everything for important matters, fun matters, or just needing somebody to chat to, or just wanting to chat with somebody that is your
Yeah.
go to are so key and important. And that's compatibility.
For sure, 100%. Also, long-term goals are important. It's
Yeah.
so easy to grow apart in a relationship. It's so easy. So, checking in with your partner about where they would like to go in life, because life is long,
Yeah.
no matter how we split it. So I feel like
We hope that
once
life is
you
long for
understand,
all of us. That's
I
the
know, right?
goal,
I thought
right?
about it and
I
I was
mean,
like, maybe life for some people isn't that long, but
yeah, I
generally
mean, that's the
speaking,
goal. Yeah.
yeah. Generally speaking, going down the road of life and being with somebody for a X amount of years, you want to make sure, or you want to try to make sure that you are growing in the same direction. Because once you grow apart, it's so hard to come back together. So, making sure that you have similar life goals, that you, as far as family and career and things of that nature, are you two are aligned.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if we were to move on to what are some of our gay relationship models, like what do our relationships actually look like? And do they differ from our hetero counterparts? I would argue yes, in many ways. But I mean, are we as gay men redefining what relationships look like when you talk about things like monogamy versus open relationships? Emotional commitment versus sexual exclusivity. And a key thing, check out next week's Tags Live when we welcome special guest Aiden Horton to the show, who's an open relationship expert. So we can really deep dive with him on that
Can't wait.
conversation next week. So check that out, programming note. But I do think that we do have a few different models. I mean, some of us have children, but the majority of us don't. Some of us are willing to live in big cities and what that all means and still go out with our friends. I've known couples where some of them go on separate trips often, and
Oh,
of course, the ever open relationships versus monogamy question. And, when we started our relationship, we were going to be open and play together, and we still might, but we closed it down for a little bit because I think we really needed to work on ourselves, and
yeah.
that has been key for us. Now we might play again down the road, but, like, for example, I was saying this Saturday we booked a it's like not a retreat, it's just a MMX, male massage exchange. We're gonna do this workshop Saturday evening, and it's all about
Fabulous.
intimacy and touch, finding new ways with your partner to explore with your partner, and we'll be in a group setting, clothes can come off. Diego said, "I'm not taking my clothes off." I'm like, "Yes, you are."
Ah!
And so
You gotta convince them. Step
yeah,
outside your boundaries, out of your
he
comfort zone,
agreed.
Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
He's listening. I love that. I love that you guys are exploring, and that's so mature of you guys to, understand that right now is not the right time for you guys to have a to for your open your relationship to be open. I think that that's, something that is all relationships and couples should take into consideration because it's not a catch all, end all, be all for an
Right.
open relationship for every couple out there. So, yeah, that's great. I also think that I had a thought, but I lost it. Go ahead, continue what you were
Well,
saying.
we were talking about, do our models of gay relationship look
Oh,
different? Yeah,
it's back. So yeah, so just by the fact of two men being in relationship, we're going to be completely different than any heterosexual couples. Two men, two women, a transgender woman and a man, or any categorization that's outside of the heteronormative spectrum. I think that by the very nature of those relationships, we're not going to look like any heterosexual couple. As far as two men is concerned, and I can speak from experience, we are socialized to be like head of household. We're supposed to be in
yeah,
charge, and all these are social constructs. We're socialized to have a lot more sex, to do all of these things down the
right.
road. So with all of those things ingrained inside of us, when we get into a relationship with another man, I, I know in my last relationship, we butt heads constantly about who was going to be in charge. Uh, you witnessed
Oh, I did,
a
yeah,
bunch of those. I feel like we never really got into the open relationship spectrum of things, but I feel like the whole control thing, who was going to be in charge, we really hit that head on, and I think that was a big part of the demise of our relationship. So I feel like just by the very nature of it being not a heteronormative relationship, we're already building new models for relationships.
yeah. I mean, what you're kinda also talking to is, like, that alignment too of shared values, but you're actually
Mhm.
talking about control too in the relationship, and you were talking not just sexually, right, but just in general because of
Just
the
in
2
general.
constructs of men. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think for us, we kinda share, like, the different things that we just kinda share them a lot, I think, and I'm fine
Yeah.
relinquishing power over to him oftentimes or for
Oh.
certain things, but, I mean, I'm really good I think if you are in alignment often, you're having those conversations, and I've learned, oh, I'm good at reminding us of things like financial matters or, "Oops, we need to call this person that's helping us with something that's, financial or something like that and keeping us on that path, and he's good at so many other areas, and so we just
Mhm.
kinda use our strengths, I think, and we both have
Yeah.
similar strengths, but then we have very different ones, and it's like utilizing those so that you are in alignment and you can kind of go down that path,
Yeah.
so that it's
And I
beneficial for you all.
Oh, definitely, and I think that what I found was you kinda had to let go of those social norms
Yeah.
and really
Yes.
just kinda, because both voices are important. So I feel like, the more again, we come back to communication and the sharing of knowledge and really checking in with the other person, that is
Yeah.
where the real power in a relationship lies. Because I don't wanna leave it on. I'm fighting for control. I was like, "Wait a
No.
minute."
Right. Exactly. Alright. Don't put that out there and leave that
I
hanging in
know,
the
right? I was like,
wind
"Wait
in
a
the
minute, what did I
universe.
just say?"
And then if we would kinda just do a round robin on the qualities that actually makes some relationship material for us today. For example, if we were to start with emotional maturity, I think we have a comment. Do you want to read that? And then we'll go through the round.
Yeah. Doug says, Cousin Paul, who I call my uncle, and his husband Jack have been my role model of a gay relationship most of his life. They are in a monogamous relationship with a son. Oh, that's lovely.
Ooh, oh, nice. Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
all kinds of models
Yep,
exist, and yeah, very cool, and parents there too, so really awesome.
exactly.
Love it. Yeah, so what are some of the qualities that actually make some relationship, somebody relationship material? Emotional maturity is high on the list for me. What about you, Cody? Emotional maturity.
Oh, oh wow. Yeah, it's super important. And being able to tap into and know what your emotions are and describe them to another person. That's what all emotional maturity is all about. And I think that it's so necessary in a relationship to be able to take stock of what you're feeling. And it doesn't happen immediately for everybody. I
Yeah.
personally have to take a step back, take a minute, and then afterwards just express myself, because sometimes it takes me I'm a Cancer. I said this last episode too.
Oh,
I have all the emotions plus a few extra, I think.
I like that idea though. We often do that too. We sit on it for a little bit and then bring it up in a more constructive time frame, and not letting it fester, whatever it is that was bothering you, but bringing it up kind of in a calm, constructive way can be really good and show your emotional maturity in so many ways and help the relationship. What about
Yes.
reliability? Just being able to rely on this person and know that they are showing up.
Oh
Super
yeah.
key,
That's
right?
that is one of the cornerstones of a relationship, because if they're not showing up, then are you even in a
Yeah.
relationship?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love this. I was talking about it on the last episode that kindness is one of those traits that I just love. And I was saying that we were on a long walk the other day on Monday, and Diego just ran up because there was a woman that was struggling to walk up her townhouse, walk up stoop with a baby and a stroller. And he just ran over there and, "Hey, can I help you out with that?" And she was like, "Oh, thanks."
Oh,
And we were laughing because the baby was like looking back, like, "Who's this picking up the other side?" But it was just instinctual of him, but also to me just warmed my heart and showed kindness. And
yeah.
for me, that's important. And how you
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with neighbors, people that you run into at restaurants. Are they kind, or are they, snippy or discarding?
Even strangers.
Even strangers. Yeah, absolutely. All of that are
Yeah.
super. Shared humor, absolutely. I'm always giggling. That's so important to me, what you laugh at, and just finding the humor in life, because life is challenging. And even if it's in the bedroom, we laugh. And, I think we almost spilled poppers on ourselves the other day, and we were just had to laugh at it too. And I'm always spilling things. So it's like I'm a
Poppers? Take care of
klutz.
that.
I know, you gotta be careful with those. A, they're expensive. B, don't get them near your eyes, and
Yeah,
so
that's
there's
the recipe
yeah.
for disaster, honey.
I love this next one, curiosity. Curiosity about life, about exploration are so important for me. Curiosity in the bedroom. I mean, Diego was just said yes when I said, "Do you wanna go to this seminar on touch?" And he was like, "Okay." Curiosity also in life, adventure, so important. What do you think about that, curiosity?
No. I love it. If you are not interested in the other person's day to day or interests or anything like that, I think that again, why are you in a relationship? So I think that that curiosity, being curious about your partner, is super important.
And of course, sexual
Curiosity for life.
compatibility, curiosity for life. And of course,
Yes.
sexual compatibility, which we tapped on, is important, but can also be fluid and change. And that's the beauty of that, is that even if you didn't think you were sexually compatible, maybe there's room to grow, like it did with my relationship. So Maybe the real luxury today isn't just access to sex, it's finding someone you can build a life with, someone who chooses you, and not because there are no other options, but because there are options. And
Yes.
I love that. So, and yeah, lastly, I think Doug said, watching us live, did he say, did we add something?
Definitely someone who is honest.
Oh, yeah, and
Honesty
that's
is
what we were
very
just
important.
breaking down on the last episode, all about honesty, episode 742, all based on a new study, Doug, that says, what are people really looking for? And of course, there's all looks and all the things that we mentioned, but the number one thing on this recent poll was honesty. People want honesty and not to be lied to.
Wow,
And so,
that's
yeah,
amazing.
if you want to hear more about that, episode 742. But for now, it's time to get into hot topics. Let's keep this conversation going over on our Tags Patreon community. You can grab a tier. If you get a paid tier, next week we have a bonus episode coming out exclusive for our paid tech Patreon members, but you can also just grab a free account. Go to patreon.com/tags podcast where the conversation continues all week. Okay, let's get into hot topics. And this one really kind of goes along with what we were talking about when gay men recently were sharing the moments they realized their other half was a keeper. I loved this. It was the threads that went viral that prompted hundreds of comments and highlighted some of the beautiful queer love stories. We hear so much how hard it is to find love or about being ghosted, like we talk about, but it was really refreshing to hear gays in long term relationships. When did you know he was a keeper? And I'll read a few we'll discuss. Quote, before I met him, said one man, first date cemented my feelings. Sadly, lost him last year. His entry music to his funeral was I Knew I Loved You Before I Met You by Savage Garden, but I had him for
Oh,
25 beautiful years. Oh, wow. I love that.
yeah,
That is
it's beautiful.
yeah, that's really beautiful. Somebody said, "Perhaps second date," said another. "I remember the first day I met him, I thought I can give this a try. On the second date, I saw him standing in front of a cafe, smiling and waving. I knew I want to protect him." Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I think my first date was the one that really cemented it. Well, 17 hours, I mean, that's a long time, and it was curiosity and the adventure of hiking and wine tasting. And it was the second date, Kodi, where I remember meeting him at this really great Argentinian restaurant here in Chelsea. And I was walking over because it was a nice day, and I could see him on the corner waiting for me. And I just knew I got that feeling in my stomach. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see him. And he's just standing there waiting so valiantly. And I
Oh,
knew, yeah, that was like he was a keeper. Somebody else said, was pretty sure on our first official date when we both showed up a half hour early. That was 32 years ago. Oh, that's so sweet. And then I love this one. I knew when I saw that he treated his mom like a queen and he's treated me like one for
that's a big one.
42 years. Isn't that great? There's
That's a
more. I'll
big one.
post these on tags on our Patreon community. But what do you think about some of these and these love stories and when they knew it was the one?
I love that. I feel like I really love love, so I feel like all of these stories are warming my heart definitely. And a lot of them I can relate to because I'm really when I meet someone and I'm genuinely interested in them, all of those things come into account and come into factor. Do they love their mother? Do they notice the small things? That is a really big one for
Yes,
me because if I tell you something and then you notice it and then you come back to me and say, "Oh, I got you this little thing you said you liked back 2 months ago." That wins a lot of big points as far as I'm concerned. So, this is
really
something that I
big.
do. It's what I do for others as well. So, yeah, I love this.
Khalid said, the first date I called my best friend that night and said, I'm going to marry him. Her response, you don't want to get married because I didn't. We've been married for 6 years and I smile each and every time I think of him. Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh.
I remember we have this friend at the bar that sees us all the time. I know, wipe those tears away, Cody.
Sorry.
We have a fun bar friend that we see often, and he always quotes me because apparently at one point in the dating process with Diego, I told his friend that he's gonna be my boyfriend, referencing Diego, and I was so, like, on a mission, and I said it with such a like, strong conviction that he was like,
Yes.
"Whoa, get out of your way." And little did I know, he ended up coming to the wedding. And I said, "Yeah, be careful what you wish for, or put it out in the universe
That's
because
right.
you can get that and even more." So, yeah, I think those are love's just great post Valentine's Day and offer hope. And if you want to read more, they'll be over on our Tags Patreon community. Okay, well, we all love the show. We can't stop talking about heated rivalry. And it all seems like every week there's something new or a thirst trap and beautiful things that have come from this show. Well, unfortunately, there's some toxic fans that have been, with when something, the fans can go crazy, right?
Oh,
And
yes. I
some of
watch Drag
them.
Race. Of course, I know the fans can go crazy.
Well, Hudson Williams and Francois Arnault shared a statement on their each social medias that basically said, "Don't call yourself a fan if you share racist, homophobic, biphobic, misogynistic, ageist, ableist, parasocial, bigoted comments of any kind. None of us need your hateful love. We all respect and support and love each other and are on the same side. If you can't accept that, GF GFOAs, get the fuck out of here." And I know, I really love that they all stand by each other and really support each other. And you can imagine that. Do you think these people are fans that are saying some of these things because they're say don't call yourself a fans, or are they just sliding into their DMs with hateful hate?
No, I think they're fans. A lot of these people conflate, uh, generally speaking, conflate like their support of the show with actually supporting LGBTQ plus people. It's really, a mind fuck to me because I don't want to say
Yeah.
fuck, but I said it. Now I said it twice. But yeah, do you recall the story that a gay guy went to watch a watch party at a straight bar of heated rivalry and they practically kicked him out?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right. Gays did, right?
no, the straight people kicked the gay guy out.
Oh, okay. But they were
So,
watching Heated Rivalry?
they exactly, you're confused because it doesn't even make
Yeah,
sense.
exactly.
But yeah, if I couldn't love these guys anymore, they
Yeah,
stand by what they say. They know the impact of the show and what it really means to actually have this show out there in the world. So I really love that they're standing by this. Yeah, so I think it's really great.
yeah, and Harrison Brown, who had a smaller role on Heated Rivalry as one of the hockey players, is trans and, of course, has probably seen a lot of hate come his way. We all know
Mhm.
about the division on how people feel with transgender people in sports. So you can imagine they've seen their fair share of hate coming their way, but they've really made a concerted effort to include him into the conversation and showing their support about transphobic comments. I think he wrote on his Instagram sharing Williams's note while adding yet another type of bigotry he's observed in response, transphobic comments. And so I think that Hudson responded, "We love you so much," at H Brown 24 about the transphobic comments. And so, yeah, it's just sad because I think, often within our own gay community too, you can have people that are anti-trans, you can have there's gay people that so often don't believe that there is bisexuality. We were doing a whole story where I think a famous woman was saying she believes there's bisexuality in women, but not in men. It doesn't exist. And how could that be? And so I just
Right?
think, you can have your feelings, but don't put them out there like that. And don't put them out to this beautiful cast that just is putting out love great art, and yeah, but you knew there was gonna be they were gonna experience this at some point, and it's just sad,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
have such strength and solidarity, and I just love that, so okay, let's move on to the study that was done by our one and only, the good doctor, Dr. Goldstein of Bespoke
Right?
Surgical. You know him
I
very
do.
well. Yeah, we love
He knows
him.
me.
Yeah, he knows me too, and I love that. Dr. Goldstein put together through his Bespoke Surgical a new study that questions something we're all curious about: dick size, whether they're happy with it, what they've got, when they think too much emphasis is placed on dimensions. All of it they did in a recent quizzed study of 3,300 people across the US, including 500 women who were asked their views on dick size. Here's some of the findings, then we'll discuss. The average self reported erect length in the US is 6.34 inches. That's actually pretty good, I think. The average, right,
Yeah.
Cody?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't throw that out of bed, so there we
Yeah.
go. It's good to
The
be
average
average
man,
sometimes.
yeah, right. The average man grows 3.09 inches between being soft and erect. 67% of respondents with the dick overestimate their size, while 28% underestimate their size when
Oh,
talking with friends and potential romantic partners. Most feel good about their size. 82% say they're confident or very confident. That's good. 88% say they've measured their dick size before, and 57% say they often compare their size to others. I mean, I think we all
mm,
do. We were just talking about being
yeah.
on the naked beach or going to a naked pool party on the last episode, and we all
Oh, yeah.
glance down there. If you're comparing it to yourself, I mean, you're checking it out. So I guess that's comparison a little bit. 73% say a partner has commented on the size of their appendage, hopefully positively. 60% of all respondents, which include multiple genders, say girth matters more than length when it comes to dick
Oh,
size. And 89% of all respondents believe society puts too much emphasis on dick size. Most said emotional connection, chemistry, and compatibility matter more in bed than dick size. Okay, now what we're talking about
I hear that.
on the
Yeah.
show, this sounded like a healthy conversation and to see where everybody's kind of at with dick size, but honesty, it sounded like. I think we're in good shape. What do you think about these? Then I'll read what states have the largest according to their study.
I think this is great. I think, all of these facts point into a pretty positive direction, especially with the fact that people are accepting of any dick size, really, as long as there's passion and communication and all those good things as far as sex is concerned. So I'm feeling hopeful.
And for you travelers out there, if you want to figure out who had the largest, they did by state. Iowa, of all states, had 7.13 inches. Wow. Okay, come on, Iowa. Followed by South Carolina at 7.04 inches, Arizona 7.01 inches. You know, every centimeter counts.
It
New
does.
York City, where we're at, 6.72 was the average, and
Oh,
Indiana, 6.68 inches is where we came out, and so, yeah, the rest of them I can post on there because 'cause we've got, like, California, which beat out Florida at 6.15 inches, and so, yeah, I mean, this was their study. Who knows if all that is accurate, but kind of fun to discuss, and if you're planning a trip this summer
I
and
mean,
you're a
are we going
size
to
change.
Iowa? Is that is
Yeah.
that what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know that I wanna go to Iowa, but no, maybe. Somebody sell me on
You never know.
Iowa, and that is
Somebody let us
that's a
know
good
what's
one,
good to
though.
do in
That's a
Iowa.
good one. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, there was well, let's talk about this one. If there's time, we'll get into another one. I love when an artist that you loved for years and years and passes away, sadly, comes out with material after they've passed away. I remember Amy Winehouse, the documentary came out, and
Mhm.
like another album version. Well, the latest, Michael, if you're fans of Michael Jackson, there's the movie that is coming out about his life, at least making, I believe it's when he was at the pinnacle of his success, correct? That looks
Mhm.
kind
Yeah.
of interesting. Well, the latest is a long lost George Michael concert film and new album are about to drop. The It's all based on his famous, it's the 10th anniversary of his death, but also it's the Faith tour. And up
Oh.
until now, I don't think we had the Faith tour available, but this will include restored and remastered footage shot at the Palais de Paris, which is a great spot in Paris. I've seen people there, and it's shot 35 millimeter cameras were rolling in 1988 as part of his international tour supporting his debut solo album. That was the one that kicked it all off, the Faith
Oh,
tour.
yeah.
And there's some interviews that have not been put out up until now. So that with the live recording of the album, are you excited about this, Cody?
Oh my god, I cannot wait. George Michael is one of my penultimate artists out there. I think he is amazing. I've seen him live.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
so glad
yes,
I
I
got to
would
see him live.
too. Yeah.
He was amazing, and his voice is just the same as the recording. I was like gobsmacked. But yeah, so I'm so excited for this. He's part of my gay awakening, and I cannot wait.
Yeah. I think he did an album towards before he died with a full on symphonic orchestra, if I'm not mistaken,
I think you're right.
that would be fun to kind of pair this Faith when this comes out to our, hopefully it'll come out on vinyl because I love vinyl, and then maybe get that last recording of him. And that's the beauty of, sadly, when we lose somebody too soon, but when they're
Yeah,
famous and they're an artist that we love, their art lives on forever. So you can
it's
celebrate
true.
it. And yeah, this is what we needed. I think I'm excited about it. So
Yeah, me too.
well, we love giving advice, and today is no different. And this one comes from Reddit. And we're asking the question, somebody was asking a friend at an orgy. They wrote, so last night I went to a small orgy I found off the apps. I'm no stranger to stuff like that. And this was fun. The guy hosting is here for a month and he's planning on doing another for next weekend. I'd like to go back, but here's the rub. As I was arriving, spotted a friend colleague leaving from the parking lot. This friend and I have a mutual attraction. We had a sloppy drunk hookup a few months ago. I wanted to move forward with it, but for work, personal reasons, he wanted to stay friends for now, which is fine, and things haven't been an issue since. Incidentally, last night I discovered he'd blocked me on Sniffies, which I'm trying not to read into because I'd do the same for friends and acquaintances. Anyway, I'd like to go back to that party next week, but I know there's a good chance he'll be there. I'm fine with it. In fact, I welcome it. But do I mention something beforehand so he's not surprised if I show up? Maybe heads up, I think we may be invited to the same event. I'm okay being there together, but he just wants to know if it would be awkward. I don't think so. I think they
Ye
already stated their piece, and the other one stated, we have to keep this professional and blocked him. And it's almost like, let's not go down that road. But I don't
Mhm.
think you're allowed to go to where you want to go to. So is
Yeah,
he. And as long as you
yeah,
kind of got that bit out the door that you're not going to pursue this anymore, it might be awkward, but hey, we go to the same spots.
yeah.
And I don't think, because what if he isn't really gonna go to that party, the other one, and then the other one's giving him a heads up? It's like, "Get out of my, like, arena world. I said I don't want anything to do with you." So I would say don't worry about it. There's space for you all, and if he has a problem with it, he's just gonna have to deal with it. He shouldn't
You
go,
can
then
call
deal with
HR. No.
it. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, no. I think that's what we're trying to
So,
avoid.
that's what we're trying to avoid. So, I do think he should tell him, but just because I don't want the man to call HR. I think that maybe there's a way to approach it to where he can say, I saw you coming out of this party. I went in after you, but I'm going to go. And I just don't want it to be awkward if I see you. I think it's just a heads up. It's neither here nor there. And
That's
it's
your
just something
Cancer side.
simple.
That is just dotting your
I'm
I's,
always,
crossing your T's, checking
I
in.
am.
And I'm
and
like,
making sure everybody's okay and that we're all comfy. But yeah, I
yeah.
would totally tell them.
I feel like they
But
did it already and you blocked me, and we basically stated, "Let's not go down that road," or he did, the other one,
yeah,
but we can't control what parties. Okay, so maybe they do that, but then who's to say there's another party, sex type party orgy, and nobody had a heads up about that, and they see each other there. I just say, live your life and go on. We already put it out there that we don't wanna go down that road, and let's just honor that and play with other people. And if one of them's, you can always leave.
yeah. But the whole thing is he now he knows and he put it on Reddit. So
Yeah.
so there's a paper trail now. So I
Two
don't know.
comments from
Do
Doug.
whatever you want to do.
Two
What do you
comments
say?
from Doug. I love George Michael. His Faith album has been reissued on vinyl. Oh, wow.
Love
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I just need to get that one. The
The reissued.
Faith. Yeah. I used to have it, I think, but I don't think I have it. And I'm in my vinyl phase right now, so that would be
Yeah, you
good. He
are.
also said I would just go to the party and have a good time. That's my where I would stand on that too, but
All right,
you heard
maybe I'm
Kodi.
wrong.
Uh,
Oh,
do we
well.
have time for one more, or should we just get into our thirst?
We can do it quick. You wanna do it quick?
Yeah, let's do it really quickly. Another one from Reddit said, I think my boyfriend is giving subtle hints that he wants to be dominated, but I don't like it. What do I do? My boyfriend and I watch porn together every so often, and one of us picks something, and it usually ends in fun. My boyfriend has been starting to pick stuff that is heavier on the BDSM side. I've been asking him if he wants to do more there, but he claims that he doesn't. I think this is because I had a really bad experience early on with the kink world. He definitely wants to be respectful because I had such a bad Diego's coming over here with a flogger right now. You
Uh-oh.
trying to tell me something, Diego?
Are we getting a show is what I wanna know.
Yeah, right? In the last 10 minutes here. He had a bad experience, but he is way more into sex when we watch these videos, and I wanna help him enjoy. We can just keep watching these. I don't really care about these things in porn. I just don't wanna hurt him. I
Mm,
mean, I think if you had a really bad experience, hopefully you shared it. You could share this with your partner and even see a sex therapist about this if,
yeah.
to kind of unpack it. If it's traumatic, if we're going that far, it's trauma. Maybe it would be good for you to unpack it, to deal with it, and also share with your partner too what
I think
this.
he did. That's why I think the
Yeah.
partner doesn't want to because the guy, the poster keeps mentioning that
Hmm.
he asked the partner if he wants to do those things, but the partner says no. So I'm pretty sure that he does share.
Yeah, it sounds like it, but it's
Yeah.
unclear. But uh yeah, and if he did, I mean, take him at his word. If it's just like, sometimes the porn you watch doesn't designate exactly what you're going to do. In other words, you can
Mhm.
put, like, we're going to do stuff here, ultimately it's kind of kicking off the night for sex, but you often want to put stuff that is even more provocative than what you're going to do. And if he says point blank and you trust him that, do you want to do some of this stuff, and he says no, then you could also just take him on his word,
That's true.
honesty, and he just likes to watch that, and as long as you're okay having it on, then just go with that.
Yep. Take him at his word. I agree with that. Also, the sex therapy is probably something they should look into. Also, kind of explore what would make both of you comfortable that you think is
Yeah.
super hot along those same lines. So yeah,
Yeah, like what,
I think
because
all that is great
as we
advice.
all know, there's levels of it in BDSM culture, and yeah, it's a spectrum of all kinds of
Mhm.
fun stuff you can explore. Well, we love a good thirst trap, and Straight Up Gay Porn puts it. I put it in the chat for those of you watching us live right now, and they always ask the question this week: out of 15 gay porn stars, who took the best photo? It's our job on a audio podcast when this gets repackaged to tell vividly why. And I heard somebody in the background over here, Keen, Eli. I
Who?
think he goes by Keen. Who did you pick,
Keen.
Cody, and why? I'll look for Keen.
There are a lot of hot guys on this list this week. Dom Loves is super hot. He is straight. Not everybody's perfect. Paolo Brini, so hot.
Yes, that's
I
my
don't think I'm
pick.
saying that. Is it? Okay. But my pick, maybe it's because I'm really into Australians right now, but Matthew Ellis, he is laying down on a bed. He's completely naked. He's got his hands, his feet wrapped up in his hands. He's got his whole presented. It's got the nice juiciest ass I've ever seen,
Yeah, I
and
saw
yeah, he's one
that.
of my porn crushers. So yeah, he's got his ankles near his ears. So and he's taking holding a camera with his left hand. So he's really just like
Oh,
very flexible
talented.
and dexterous. So thank you for that. He's super hot. He's my pick for the week. What about you, Steve?
So I'm going with, and I voted already, Paolo Bruni. And I'm going to throw another picture for you guys into our chat because there's somebody that's not on this list, but that is from Heated Rivalry that just did a thirst photo shoot. Look at these pictures of who I love, Robbie GK, who he plays the love
Kip.
interest
He plays
Kip,
Kip.
yeah, and he just did a photo shoot for Blinds magazine, and it reminds me of Bruno and is it Bruno, the one that I'm picking this week? They kind of
Paolo.
Paulo Bruni. They look like, a little bit on the shorter side, but compact, nice hair, great, just that kind of effortless kind of hair. But doesn't Robbie just look delicious too? If he,
Delicious. He always
yeah,
looks delicious.
super delicious, and it just reminded me, so I'm putting him in the mix even though you can't vote for him, but Paulo Bruni reminds me
Honorable
so much
mention.
of this same photo shoot, and you get to see the dick in Paolo, so that's
There
really
it is.
exciting. Yeah, so let us know. You can always vote over on our Tags Patreon community where it continues over there. Diego, who did you pick? Well, he's not hearing me right now. He picked somebody that I can't remember who, but
Keen? It was a Keen?
Keen, I don't see a Keen on there,
King
but
Louis?
King Louis.
There we
Yes?
go.
King, okay. King
See, I'm a
Louis.
detective.
Yeah,
Yep.
you
There we
got
go.
it.
Call me
Yeah.
Batman.
He's cooking us dinner, so I don't want to disturb him too much. So yeah.
Hey.
Um he had the dirty look according to yeah,
Ah, he
yeah.
likes the dirty
Okay.
look.
Dirty. Ooh. Get down in
Okay.
it. Yes, we're watching a little of that tonight. Okay, you can
Ooh.
always follow my co-host. You can get his new EP that's out, Thing of Beauty. And Kodi has a music video coming out soon that supports one of the tracks. It's
Yep.
going to come out soon, right? We might show it on one of our upcoming episodes, yes?
Yep, let's do it.
Yeah, it'll
I'm
be a
very
lot of
excited.
fun.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
excited to see it. Thing of Beauty, wherever you get your music, download it, get it, support him. I love it. We all love it. Follow him on the gram and Blue Sky at Mr. Maurice. Follow me on the gram at I am underscore Steve V. Head over to our tags Patreon community, patreon.com/tags podcast. And in the meantime, continue having hot,
Hot
gay
gay
sex.
sex.
Thanks, live virtual audience, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.